This is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. For those of you who are tuning in this video, this is a live stream video. That means the video could go long, there could be a lot of random banter that doesn't go anywhere, but of course, as always, there is a too long didn't read version, and that's usually the first 10 minutes. So while I am waiting for people to come in, because I don't necessarily think this is a topic a lot of people care whether this is done live or not, is that cargo is now in the LA area. They're now in the LA area, and there are three things you need to do if you want to get off the wait list and actually have cargo in your car, which would definitely help you make more money ride sharing. And those three things are you need do well, according to this email, we'll just turn this over here. Due to high demand, we're only able to offer cargo to a limited amount of drivers. However, if you meet all of the following criteria, now is your time to get off the wait list and receive your cargo box. And what you need is a total of 300 rides given, at least 100 total rides given in the past month, a driver rating of at least 4.7. If you meet the above criteria, please send a screenshot showing your weekly summary, total rides given, and driver rating to support at Get Cargo Today or this phone number. Once we confirm, you'll receive an approval text and you can get started with cargo right away. We're looking forward to hearing back from you. Happy driving. So, anyway, that's the news. That's the news. So cargo is in LA, and I qualify for two of those three options, which means I'm not getting off the wait list until they're a little bit more established. But I will say, once I have cargo and Rapify, if I can get reapproved by Uber with the Rapify app, there's been a little discussion going on about that right now. Then I will do a little driving and we can kind of seeing how profitable this is when you have other sources of income in addition to just Uber. So I see 12 people in here, 14 people. So let's start. Hi, Tony. How are you doing? And Swiss Cheese, hello. And Total Tech. Total Tech already asked a question. What is cargo? Well, cargo, from what I understand, is it's like a little snack box where they hand you the snack box and your customers take it. And if they eat something, you get paid for having the snacks that you give away to your customers for free. Now, I don't know. I'm sure there's like a safeguard so that the drivers aren't just eating the snacks. But it's a extra way to make money. You have some snacks for your riders, and you get paid to have them, and that's a pretty good deal, I think. So let's see here. Swiss Cheeseroo says, "Why does it matter? You're getting free items and paid selling candy." You're asking about the waiting list. Well, I'm assuming the reason it matters with the waiting list, is because they have just launched in LA. They're fairly new and they probably have a limited supply. So they just want to make sure the active drivers get the boxes first. And that's perfectly fine. I can get the box later on. And you know what? I'm not driving Uber now because right now me and Uber are having disputes about the wrap on the car. Uber does not want to reapprove me with a wrap on my car, whereas I personally am saying, yes, you have to let me drive with the wrap on the car. It's my car. It's my business. If I want to put an ad on it, that's my choice. I'm an independent contractor. So I'll let you guys know how that turns out. Hi, Jamal. How you doing? And Emma Silverhander, would you like riders eating in your clean car? Well, if we're talking about like Skittles and stuff, I don't really care. If we're talking about tacos and noodles, then yes, I do care, because those are really, really bad. Those are really messy items. But if they're like Skittles or Starburst or something, and we have like a little bag for trash, hopefully people will use it. I guess the question is, would any of you guys feel comfortable with cargo in your car? I mean, keep in mind, I've been struggling with Uber because it's not profitable. But if I can do it with cargo and with Rapify, that does add extra money to the miles. And who knows, it might be profitable again at that point. Queen Brooke, she says, not everything is free and the box is securely closed and they order and pay on their phone. Oh, okay. So the way it works is that people buy the snacks on the phone and then it unlocks. So, yeah. And then I guess you get a commission of that because you have it in your car. Let's see here. Part-timer. I have cargo. I had them the items at the end of the ride. Oh, you hand them the items at the end of the ride. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Queen Worker says, give them their items when the ride completes. Okay, so apparently that's how it works. They pay for the candy, and at the end of the ride, you give them their items. So yeah, that's a good way to make a little extra money, I would say, especially since candy is like a really big markup. I don't think a lot of you realize, but most stores when they like buy like that Hershey's bar that you paid $1.75 for, they paid about 50 cents. So there you go. Let's hear. Andy Wong says, I have cargo and I'm on my third shipment. Okay. MB said, I just joined the stream. What's going over here? I need a new gig. Uber sucks. Well, you need a new job. You got to find it the same way everyone else finds it. Look, want ads. Craigslist sometimes has jobs that are hiring. It's, you could always update your LinkedIn profile. So, I mean, I got a part-time job, kind of by accident, really, but it's getting me out of the house a couple days a week, and I think for the most part, it's resulting in me making better videos. I know you're not seeing them because I'm having internet problems, but I've been able to make some videos that probably have more legs than the news items, and those videos will be updated probably starting Wednesday because I'm getting a new internet provider. Otherwise, I've been live streaming all my news because the internet is just sucked recently. Hi, Ollie. How you doing? Andy Wong. Kevin, sign up cargo. It's not bad. Oh, I'm signed up. I'm on the waiting list, but right now I don't qualify for getting off the waiting list because to get off the waiting list right now, you need a total of 300 rides given. That's me. A driver rating of at least 4.7. I have a 4.8, so that's good. But the one that I don't qualify for is at least 100 total rides given in the past month. That I have not done. So I don't qualify to have cargo just yet. Once they're a little bit more widespread, then I can get cargo, I believe. Part-timer says, Bite Squad was on Los Angeles Craigslist. Is it any good? I don't know what Bite Squad is, to be honest. Andy Wong, hey Kevin, did you get the new Uber beacon? No, I have not. I know people who have mailed mail who have gotten the email. It's probably because I'm not like I'm not really active these days, guys. So they're probably not sending it out to me because of that. So Emma Silverina says, call the CA Attorney General and state that Uber is treating you like an employee by denying you the right to advertise as an independent contractor. How did Uber find out your car's wrapped? Well, they found out the car's wrapped because the inspection was due, and you have to go to a green hub to get the car inspected. And they looked at that wrap, and the guy even said, I'm not passing you because of that wrap. Uber does not want you to have an ad on your car. And that's when it got a little heated, and I told them that I would be following up. And I actually already have written to the CA Attorney General. I don't make a big deal about it because I don't want to get online and say, hey guys, I complained to the Attorney General in California about this and then have nothing happen. I frankly don't know if anything's going to happen. But if something happens, I'll let you know. Or you might read about it in the paper. Who knows? Let's see here. Ali says, Kevin, did you talk to Slavik about paying the fare up front before starting the trip? Okay. What Ollie's talking about is Yay Driver, which is a new app for drivers where you will get to keep 100% of the fare, so long as, but you're going to pay to use the service. Like they don't take a fee out of the fares. You keep 100% of the fares, but you pay $100 a month. Now, I'm sure what you're referring to, Ollie, is that there is no electronic payment option on the app right now. It's just cash. And I have had words with him. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy, and he helped me out a lot. So as they say, I'm eternally grateful, and I don't want to badmouth him. But I have had a disagreement where I told him there needs to be an electronic payment in the app where riders can pay upfront. Otherwise, drivers will have a hard time trusting it. And for whatever reason, that has not happened yet. I hope he would include a PayPal or Google Wallet or an Apple Pay or something in the app soon. because until that happens, I don't think the drivers are really going to want to use that app. And it's a shame because I want EA Driver to succeed. I really do. But that's a huge hurdle for them because we all know how cheap people are in this industry. And if you don't charge them for that right up front, they're not paying. It's that. MB, what is cargo? I missed the beginning. Well, uh, yeah, maybe I'll repeat it later. Driver 631 said, would you do DD again? That's DoorDash. That's a good question. I mean, technically, I deactivated from the platform, but if they ever reactivated me, I don't know. Because I never disliked driving for DoorDash. It was always the way they treated me. The problem with DoorDash is I think if they reactivated me again, I don't know if I could ever do it safely. I'd probably be under like a stressful cloud, like, is this person going to complain? Am I going to get fired? Because that's how DoorDash works. Someone makes a complaint. They don't even ask you what happened. You're just gone. So, anyway. Yeah. The cargo link code, which is not up now, it will be below when the live stream is over. So, let's see here. MS Silverhammer said, oh, we can go to any certified mechanic in Florida for inspections. No green light hub. I have never been to a hub in almost 4 years since starting with Uber. Well, you know, I should check to see if there's any non-green hub places I can go to. I probably can. Here's the thing. The Uber Green Hub is very, very simple. You go in, and they say, okay, left blinker, right blinker, step on the brake, put it in reverse, put the emergency brake lights on, put it in park. Okay. And that's all they're checking for. When I first did Uber 3 years ago, I went to a Firestone, and they would not pass the car because they said the tires weren't good. And I ended up spending like $600 for really good tires. And then they approved me. In hindsight, I should not have done that. The old tires were probably fine. They were just trying to get something out of me because they knew I wanted to drive for Uber. So that's the problem, is going to like a third-party place to get your Uber car inspected. First of all, they're going to charge you for the inspection. And then secondly, they're going to look for things that Uber themselves don't look for. And my car is, for the most part, fine. It's not like it's got any major issues or anything. But, you know what? The last thing I need is for a place to say, hey, your brakes, they have this much miles on them, right? It's like, yeah, but they're fine. It's like, yeah, but they really should be new if you want to drive for Uber. So, let's see here. Ali Rizvi said, can you do a live video chat with him? I could ask him if you'd want to do that. So, I mean, I've actually had him on a live chat before. The problem was we had someone else in the chat who just talked and he didn't get a word in. So, yeah, but I could probably have him in the chat again. Let's see here. Total Tech said he probably can't get a merchant account. He could let the drivers out. Let the driver add their own PayPal. Yeah, I told him to do that, but I don't think it would cost anything to add a PayPal link in there, but apparently it would. Well, actually, here's the thing. And this was where me and him had a little disagreement, if I recall this correctly. I believe the app programmers were going to charge him for each payment method they incorporated into the app. And me and him had a discussion, and I told him to make it PayPal or something like that. And he was afraid that PayPal would be too limiting, so he made it cash, because anyone can use cash. But I told him there was a problem with that because that creates an unsafe perception. So, you see, I want to be careful because he's not a bad guy. He really is not. And you know what? He did what many people say they want to do and never do. He actually made an app, and he actually paid money out of his pocket to get it made, and he was doing it for the drivers. So I can't complain about this. I just wish there was another payment option there. So anyway, why did they deactivate you from DoorDash? I have no idea. I have no idea. I have got a suspicion. I've got a suspicion. It's an older video, much older video. I had a bad situation with a restaurant in downtown Huntington Beach. I think it was called Ritter's, if I recall. And I went into the restaurant and I asked them, I said, hey, I'm from DoorDash. Here's the order number. And the guy said, and it was unfortunately a black guy. Not, well, and I'm saying that, you'll understand why I'm saying that in a moment. He said, oh no, man, the printer's broken. We can't make your order. And I said, yeah, you can. He's like, no, we can't. And I was like, yeah, you can. Okay, well, here's the order. You can just take it. And he interrupted me at that point and said, listen, I'm not going to let a cracker tell me how to run my business. And he kind of walked away. And unfortunately, that was the manager. So I complained to DoorDash, and of course DoorDash did we're going to look into it, and they're like, in the meantime, can you please pick up this order? Which was like, no, I can't. They're not going to serve me. I was refused service in this restaurant. And, it makes me mad thinking about it. Well, because after that response, I made a video. And I don't know if it was that video, but a couple people said something. One guy even said in the video, watch me get this guy fired. I mean, I took down the video for a while after a comment like that, but a few days after that, I got the email and I noticed that people at DoorDash, higher ups at DoorDash that I had contact information for and I called them, they wouldn't take my calls anymore. So I put the video back up and I haven't been working for them since. And I've been pretty mad about them ever since. And as for the restaurant, it's their right to refuse service anyone. I believe that. I defend the baker who didn't want to make the cake for the gay couple and the people who wanted to kick Sarah Huckabee out of the restaurant. I defend them. As a business, you have the right to do business with or whoever you do or do not want to. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to do business with me. For whatever reason. And since I know that, and since I kind of got a taste that the owner did not seem to like me for whatever reason, I can now choose to not give him my business in response. I don't even know if they're still there anymore now that I think about it. But yeah, so that's the theory I have for why I no longer work for DoorDash, but I can't prove it. So, hey, Anti-Uber, how you doing? I'm obviously a little behind on my comments. Let's hear Andy Wong. Uber plans to lower the fares. I think Harry Campbell mentioned it on Uber or Uber Hints. We've all mentioned that. Uber driver. Oh, hey, Uber driver 101. How are you doing? Love your videos, by the way. Hey, Kev, you tried the box out yourself yet? It's dang easy to use. Not yet. Have not used them yet, but when I get the box, I will use it. Sorry. And I will make a video. Frank said, no green light here in Las Cruces, had to go to Jiffy Lube. Emma Silverhander, I think that I'm going to switch to treasure hunting versus rideshare. Watching Cooper's Golden Discovery, super interesting, exciting. Hey, you're Driver Mike. Hey, everyone. By the way, Driver Mike uploaded a video with me recently, about an hour ago. So thank you for that, by the way. And yeah, go check it out and check out his channel in general. Mana said, my car inspection was free. Car inspection through Pep Boys, through Lyft, which Uber approved for free. Well, yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. I used to use the Lyft inspection or even the Uber inspection and vice versa with one another. But here's the thing. Now, Uber does it all electronically. So you can't, and so does Lyft. So you can't, they even tell you, take a picture of the results. And it's like, okay. And then they take the sheet and they put it back under the table because they don't want you using it to ride for the other rides, even though you're going to do it anyway. It's just one more hoop they're making you jump through. Let's see here. Driver361 says, do you believe UberX and food delivery drivers can get it together to start a co-operating system? All of them owns shares and no. I don't think people are motivated enough to do that. Part-timer says, I went to a Pep Boys where Lyft is and it's free. Then I sent the Lyft inspection sheet to Uber on the app. It's proved on Uber. Yeah, like I said, they take away the inspection sheet now where I live. They don't let you do that anymore. Queen Brooksy said, Uber added no commercial branding to their rules. Yes, but they should not be allowed to do that. If they want to be an independent contractor, if they want to treat us as such, they should not have that on their policy. There's a lot of things they shouldn't have in their policy that they do. That's why they're getting attacked so much over it. Ali said, yeah, he's a nice guy. I checked out his channel. I'm assuming you're talking about Uber 101. So, yeah, he's pretty cool. Cassandra Lewis said, referring back to ad wrapping, does Lyft approve it? I'm going to find out soon. Andy Wong said, I would do it. We are independent contractors. I don't care they deactivate me. It's extra income. And Uber Driver 101 says, no, Lyft and Uber don't allow wraps. I've never tried DoorDash. How is it? DoorDash was fun while it lasted. Let's see here. Wow, I'm like 3 minutes behind on these messages. You guys are fast. Ali says, that's for someone else. Let's see. MSL Aaron said, the guy at the restaurant did not like your beanie. I was not wearing the beanie at the restaurant. I only wear the beanie for videos or when I do live streams. So, yeah, I'm not gonna wear that. I'm not gonna wear this cap in 104-degree weather. Let's see here. Andy Wong says the cargo box gives you 3 items that cost money and 3 are free items to the customers. Okay. Let's see here. Driver 631 said, I had an Uber X ride pass out my car. Didn't wake until 15 minutes after ride. I complained about him passing out. I think he was on heroin. He told Uber I called him the N-word and got a free ride. Wouldn't surprise me. Patrick Pitt says, your videos are very informative. I appreciate them immensely. Uber Pool is terrible. Uber Express is reprehensible. The fares have no concept of what they are doing. Well, thank you, Patrick. Always happy that people are coming. Let's see. Your driver Mike said, hey, Kevin, how many miles did it take for you to get a campaign offer from Rapify? That's really not how it works. I put my name on the list like a year and a half ago and just waited. And one magical day, I got a push notification that said, hey, there's campaigns available. Grab one before they're gone. And I did. So, yeah, that's, I don't think the miles matters much. In fact, you don't even have to be doing rideshare. Rapify is not designed with rideshare in mind. It's just designed for general public. So you just got to sign up for it and put your name on the list. That's all you got to do. Uber Driver 101 says, yeah, nice collab. Was kind of funny, just the pictures with questions. It was, yeah, well, he did the same thing for your personal driver. I think it's because he only had one microphone, so, but, that's fine. It was cute. Jason, how you doing? DoorDash adjusts how much they pay you depending on how much the tip is. Yes, I have made videos about that. So, Stephen Moten said Tampa is surging at 2.4. Yeah, I remember when it would. Well, I never lived in Tampa, but 2.4, that's rare now. And actually 4.4 used to be a lot common. Driver Mike, just waiting for my magical day. Yep, that's what you got to do. You just got to wait for the magical day. Jason says, without pushing cargo on customers, I average $50 a week with cargo. Yeah, and you know what? That's not nothing. That's $200 a month. So that's good. And if you could throw in Rapify, you can make another $60, $70 a week sometimes. Actually, you know what? Most drivers, if they were full-time, would probably get the whole $25 a day. So they could make a few extra dollars a week. If you could combine all these things, it'd be so great. But yeah, Uber has that no commercial use clause in the contract, which means you can't have a wrap on your car if you want to do Uber. And I think Lyft has a very similar thing. So let's see here. The driver says, the new surge pricing is in my area. I don't drive Uber X, only Uber Eats. I can make more with food. I've been hearing that a lot recently. You can make more money with food. And it's true because, yeah, you don't, how should I put this? Yeah, you're not driving nearly as much. It's that simple. Andy Wong says, just like customer to get 4 free items and push out all the free items, you'll make an extra $100 a week. Yeah. So let's see here. MS Silverhander, I've seen about 1 hour of surge in South Florida since Easter. Dead. Well, that's all the new tricks and the new algorithm that Uber's using to lower the surge. In fact, I believe we're going to be talking about this on a podcast Wednesday. And should all work out, Cecily, Mike, and Mark will all be there. It'd be nice to do another. We should have done a podcast last week, but my dad was in town and it was just really not going to work out. So anyway, does anyone have any other questions? I see everyone's just talking about cargo, and that's fine, I guess. But yeah, do you have any other topics you want me to discuss or any questions you might have? And Jason does Amazon and DoorDash. I've signed up for Amazon. I was not approved for whatever reason, which is kind of fine. I don't really want to work for them anyway, to be honest. Driver 631, the new search policy, they are stealing money. Well, they've been stealing money for a long, long time. So that's not surprising. Hey Perry, how you doing? So anyway, we've got 30 people here it's Saturday, right? 29 people on a Saturday night. So thank you all for watching. It's always fun. Jason Condit, do you use Roadie? I do use Roadie. I use it very sparingly though. If I had a bigger truck and wanted to do a road trip, I'd probably use Roadie a lot more. But right now, the way it works, people are paying ridiculous prices for pretty Herculean tasks. Like most recently, someone wanted me to bring like a box full of cables about 15 miles away, offered me $25. That's fine. What really drives me crazy is when I see people they want to put their whole living room set, couches, cabinets. They want to give you $50 to take it to New York. We're in California. So Roadie is hard to make money, but you know who's going to actually be making a video series to see how much money you can make with Roadie? The Savage Scientist. He is going to be making like a Roadie vlog, which I was going to do at one point, and then it didn't work out for personal reasons. But he's going to be doing something like that. So if you want to know more about Roadie, I'd subscribe to his channel and check him out. Let's see here. MS Silvander says, I literally took the app about 10 times a say, never see surge, so I don't drive. Patrick Pitts, yes. Why are they pushing Pool and Uber Express? Because it's that whole thing that even though they lose money off Pool and Express, it encourages new people to try them. The problem is, and MoviePass is finding this out, is when you get people used to one price, they usually don't want to go up at all. So even if it's just a couple dollars. So that's the problem with having like a really cheap option. Sometimes, people get used to that price and then they never want to go up. Hey, Timothy Wong, how you doing? And Andy Wong says Uber's pushing Pool and Express to make fast booking fees. Yep. So where Andy Wong says the service fees is where the money is for Uber, also taking 40% off drivers. Yep. Patrick says, I am in the metropolitan Atlanta, Georgia area. The express pool fare is a joke. It's beer money fares with terrible attitudes. I agree. Got it. Arms. It always looks easier, but it's always so hard. So if we got to 50 viewers, I would give away another movie, but we seem to be dipping to the low 20s again, so we probably won't be giving away any movies. But yeah, because on my other channel, I've been talking a lot about like the MoviePass changes and how they're going to implement their own surge pricing, and that means like, say if you wanted to see Jurassic World tomorrow night, but it's a popular night to see it, they might charge you $3 in addition a $3 surcharge to see it. And it's amazing. Some people have actually said, well, I'll go back to paying retail price for every ticket. It's like you'll go back to paying $15 a ticket as opposed to $10 plus $3 for plus additional $12 for movies and surcharges. It's really weird. People are. I think it's really funny the demands people make sometimes. So okay, so come on, guys. Do you have any other questions? Anything else to say? Because if not, we could always end the live stream now. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Patrick says, "Where do you think the future of fair share driving is headed?" Um, the future is headed to the courts. What channel did you say going to cover Rhodey? The Savage Scientist. He's going to be covering. He's going to be covering Rhodey. Oops. Not only why is 2 plus 2? Is that an Alice in Wonderland reference? Am I getting Alice in Wonderland references in my live stream? Like your Aunt Andy Wong, Uber will go public soon and drivers are helping them fast. Well, they're not helping them fast enough. Uber can't go public until they're profitable. They're just... There's not a lot of... Unless you're Amazon, investors usually don't like investing in companies that lose money. Driver 631. How much hourly pay is Disneyland? I believe it starts at $11 an hour. They get pretty screwed in the payments. They really do. So the funny thing is, I still miss working for Disneyland. I have a lot of good memories working there. It's just when I think back at how I struggled to make money, that part's no fun. Anti-Uber says, Lyft holding meeting at Kauai Airport next week to gain access to pickups there. Well, best of luck to them. Let's see here. Driver 6, do you think Uber abuse illegal immigrants? I don't see why they would. They certainly like to use them for drivers, but I don't... Uber abuses everyone, though, if you're talking about just how they get paid. Like, it doesn't matter if you're illegal or legal, Uber will not pay you well. Steven says, thank you for blessing us with your time and effort. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jason. Let's see here. Patrick Pitts. There's no thinking in the corporate leadership. We are not independent contractors. Yeah, you know, that's something that... Because people keep asking me, like, so Uber's going to have to make everyone employers, and it's like, you know what? Uber doesn't have to. Uber can do things, and we can be independent contractors. The problem is, what they are doing doesn't constitute as independent contractors at the moment. And that's the problem. You're a part-timer. If all you do is rideshare, everyone here should learn a trade. It pays more. I agree. You shouldn't just do rideshare for a living. 3 years ago, yeah, you could make a great living at this. Not anymore. I know some people still make a lot of money every week. In fact, some people make $2,000 a week, but you pay for it in the time. And even though it doesn't sound too difficult to be driving for 70 hours a week, it's difficult to do anything for 70 hours a week. So, let's see here. Driver 631. What do you think about them deporting people? I have not heard about that. In fact, I was under the impression that Uber had a memo recently that showed how they were going to support illegal immigrants crossing the border, or at least they were gonna offer support at the border for families so that they didn't get separated. Which is a topic that I'm obviously not going to get into here, but Uber seems to be very much in favor of illegal immigrants, which would make sense because trust me, Uber's not... They don't want to treat illegal immigrants fair because they're altruistic. They want to treat them fair because illegal immigrants are the ones that work the hardest for 60 cents a mile, and they don't complain. So, thank you for answering that question, Mike. So, someone said this driver drives all day to make 2,000 a week. He has no life. If you here's the thing, I would typically agree if you're driving that long, that many hours, you don't have a life. But for some people, they really like to work. And that's where there's going to be a little bit of a difference. I think you should work to live, not live to work. But some people go by the live to work philosophy. And if they want to do that, more power to them. I'm just I'm sorry, my time's more valuable than that. I've got 4 YouTube channels to run, 3 of which make money, so I'm I'm not going to be driving for 70 hours a week. Darren says, "What if your car dies 2 months later? Then you're screwed." Anti Uber says, "If you're disabled and choose not to go on disability, rideshare is the way to go." Yeah, probably, but you're still not going to make enough money. Let's see here. Can you take an Uber from Mexico to San Diego? I don't know. I don't know. That's an immigrations question that I just do not have the answer for. It it would be worth finding out. I'm not sure what purpose that information would provide, but that would be interesting to know. So Patrick says some areas here in Atlanta look like a war zone. I do it part time, and the quality of the fares is reprehensible. Yep. Namely says, "Sorry, I'm using voice to text because I'm driving. Some of my sentences do not make sense." Okay. MS Silverhander says, "A driver can only make 2K a week in maybe 3 cities. Those who make 2K have no real life, as is a constant grind, no sleep, no balance, get the flu, you must still work, no downtime." Yeah, and you know what? That's kind of the same thing with taxi drivers. You all probably remember that story about that. I mean, unfortunately, there have been more since, but the first story we heard about a guy who killed himself on City Hall. He was a taxi driver and he blamed rideshare. As I read the story later on, first I did a podcast and I asked everyone what they thought. And Mark said there were probably things in his life that were going on that probably contributed to that. And it wasn't just rideshare. And the more I read about his life, the more I realized it was true because he was his own boss. And at one point, he hurt himself. I think he threw his back out or something and he couldn't drive for a couple months. Well, he was a taxi driver. That was his only income, or he was a private black car. And he waited, and then 1 week before he was fully healed, he decided he was going to go do some driving against his doctor's wishes. Like, he only had 1 more week to go before he was fully recovered, but he needed to make money. He went driving, got into a car accident, and had to be out bedridden another few months. So so it is true that in some lines of work, it's really quite unforgiving. If you get hurt or you miss a few months, then you're done. That's why you need to diversify if you can. Let's see here. Frank said 2 Uber drivers were detained at the border inspection station here in Las Cruces because their passengers were illegal. They were going from El Paso to Albuquerque. Yeah, when you say that, Frank, I'm kind of under the impression that no, you can't take an Uber from Mexico to the United States. That would actually be a very big hole in the story. Yeah, if you could do that, then yeah, why cross the border illegally? Just have an Uber driver carry you over. So yeah, it makes sense that the answer to that is no. We're not letting you into the United States unless you have a good reason. Okay, let's see here. You can Uber into USA instead of hopping the fence. Well, someone just said that doesn't look like that's the case. Liz, oh hey Liz, how you doing? They said, how do they make that much money? I quit Uber because they took more than their share and Lyft has taken 45%. I thought I agreed to 25%. They make that much money because they're just accepting every trip and they are driving for 12, 13 hours a day. And yeah. Let's see here. Uh, Frank said, yes, you can. You can Uber into Mexico. Well, you Uber into Mexico, but unless you're a U.S. citizen, I don't think you can just Uber out of Mexico. I think you have to have paperwork and a reason to be there. I think. Oh, anyway, Jason said the worst effect Uber has had on transportation workers is diminishing pay. Yep, yep, and we all have companies that their real legacy is pretty ugly. Walmart's biggest legacy is lower companies who figured out that if everyone was just part time, that you asked to work more hours every single week, then you could get full time employees without giving them full time benefits. Amazon's legacy is that they destroyed a lot of local businesses, and Netflix's legacy is that people stopped going out on dates; they just stayed inside. So, let's see here. And myself here says, someone drives 12 hours a day, 7 days a week into South Florida, you can still not make 2K. The most you can make is 1,500 if you get lucky and don't eat or go to the potty too often. Probably. And here's the thing: even if you make 2,000, you're not really making 2,000. The depreciation on the car, the gas, the tires, the oil changes, these are things that add up, and it's one of those things where the more you try to make money, the more goes into your car. So you're not making much. So let's see here. So we're not going to talk about the border anymore because I just don't know if that's the case. If you can use Uber to cross the border, I would assume no, but that's just me. So do you have any other topics we want to talk about on this Saturday night? Patrick Pitts, what are your thoughts on changing the pay per mileage? I would really rather focus on the pay per minute. I was talking to Peterson one day, and he made a very excellent point that everyone should be making 50 cents a minute, because that means you're making more than $20 an hour if you get stuck in traffic. Like, the time pay should be the same for everyone all around. Like, the mile pay should be different based on the service because of the type of car you have, but everyone should get like 50 cents a minute or something like that because you're all doing the same job. So I actually think that if Uber changed the time like to 30 or 40 cents a minute, then we'd be a lot better off in some cases. So let's see here. All right, Andy Wong said either Didi or Juno get their butts here ASAP or let Uber and Lyft screw drivers. Well, Juno did not really help many drivers in New York, and Didi's the Uber of China, so they might not be much better. So Sasha Law said, I've started canceling quick if the person isn't outside. 12 cents a minute is BS. Yep. Driver 61. Do you think Peterson is doing good money on Uber Black? Yes, he is doing pretty good. I've seen the money he makes, and he definitely makes good money. But again, he's a black driver and a select driver, so he's going to make a lot more than the average driver. Patrick says, your thoughts on diversification of the cancellation policy counting against... You're going to need to word that differently because I don't know what you're talking about. The cancellation policy has pretty much been like, if you cancel for any reason other than they didn't show up for after 5 minutes, then you don't get anything. Hey Alex, how are you doing? I'm doing fine tonight. Just had a good day with Katie, so and I'm still here. Uberman finally throwing in the towel on Rideshare and changing his channel name. Has not been part of Rideshare for a while, so appropriate. Yeah, well, no, that makes sense. When I talked to him, I kind of asked him why he didn't change his name sooner, and a lot of that was his business licenses were tied up to the Uberman channel name, as far as I'm aware. So it sounds like he finally decided on a new name. He's probably patenting it, or trademarking it. That's probably the term. And he's got a new logo. And yeah, he's going to change the channel name. And well, that's fine. Best of luck to his new ventures. Sounds like what he's doing is a lot more interesting than what I'm doing anyway. So, you know, that's just. And I have to say, when I saw his video, I kind of felt the pain in his voice when he said, you know what, I've just got to close the book. And it's really hard for a lot of people to just close the book on something. Like, yeah, you know what? I don't do this anymore. I'm not really part of it. I don't want to be part of it anymore. So I'm going to close the book and I'm going to move on. So I wanted to move on for a while, but I like making the videos too much. So that's why I'm still here. So, yeah. Yeah, Mike, it is big news. In fact, it's big enough news that it's going to warrant its own video when it actually happens. But yeah, he's pretty much done with this, and I don't blame him. It's exhausting. Exhausting sometimes to just keep talking about a company that clearly does not have your best interest in mind. So, yeah, and he's got subscribers that he can get away with it. He can totally transition smoothly. So, we don't know what his new name is yet, Frank. We just don't know. Miss Silverson said Uberman could not live with 60 cents per mile in Oklahoma City. No, he can't. And yet, in San Diego and in LA, we're getting paid 70 cents a minute. I mean, living costs that are three, four times as much as in Oklahoma. And Uber decides 10 cents more. That's what you need. It's just ridiculous. So, sup, DJ? Driver says, did you have girls or guys hit on you when you were driving for Uber? I did have girls hitting on me when I drove for Uber, but I never ever took advantage of it. Never. You do not want to do that for a few reasons. One, it's just really not professional, and it's not moral in my opinion. But also, if you do something with them and they wake up the next day and they decide they regret it, they could make a claim against you, say that you assaulted them and took advantage of them, and then boom, you're in a lot of trouble. So, no, don't ever, ever. The closest I came was when someone wanted to do something with me. I gave her my number and said, if you're still feeling this way tomorrow, give me a call. Never got a call. So something tells me she was just a little tipsy and I was looking attractive for some reason that night. Emma Silverhander, it was inappropriate for him to meet with Uber and Dar when not really a driver anymore. Well, Uberman was a driver when he met with Uber. That interview really broke him and it disappointed him in ways that I don't think you guys can truly understand. You just can't. He was that what came after that interview he considered to be a personal betrayal. So I think I could be wrong, but from what I gathered from talking to him, that was the turning point. But that's really not my story to tell. I probably shouldn't have even said that much, so sorry, Randy. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about why he's moving on from Uber completely, you're just going to have to ask him. Alex said, can you imagine the Detroit drivers who were making 30 cents a mile? I cannot. Yeah, so let's see here. Oh, Patrick, the cancellation. Yeah, I know. I know that the cancellation counts against you even if they don't show up. That's been in place for a while. So, Jason says, if you look at participation in rideshare pages on Facebook, it's way down. The driving crowd is fleeing to other gigs. Yeah, I agree. Well, because most people with half a brain and basic math skills, they just look at the situation. They're like, I'm not doing this. I am so not doing this. It's not worth it to me. And Andy Wong, Uber is a lesson for drivers to get up and look for a job. Yeah. Driver 631. Did you hear about Uber driver who kicked out lesbians out of car for kissing? Yes, I did. And I didn't make a video on that because I did not want to get a lot of flack for that. Um, hmm. Should I discuss that now? Because here's the thing, that situation was not as cut and dry as or at least there was something about that story that I thought was really interesting. There were a couple things about it that were interesting. So, okay, I'm going to share as best as I can. Um so without saying what my position on it is, although I will tell you what my position on this was. There were two things about that particular event that I found fascinating. First of all, Uber does have a clause in the rider and driver agreement that says there is to be no kissing, no physical contact, and no flirting during the Uber ride. So that is in the user agreement. And based on that user agreement, you are allowed to kick those people out if they do that. Here's the other thing about the situation that was interesting. I thought it was going to be a Christian, to be perfectly honest. I thought this was in the South, and it was going to be a Christian. It was a Muslim. And what's interesting about that is that when Christians are against homosexuality, they're considered very, very intolerant. But when Muslims are intolerant of homosexuality, they are considered following their faith. And to ask them to violate that faith is very offensive. That's what the general public seems to think. So, those were two facts I found to be very interesting. The fact that it was a religious driver who, from his perspective, had every right to be offended and kick people out. And Uber had a policy that you don't do this thing in the Uber in the first place. Now, my perspective, I don't think they should have gotten kicked out. I don't think they were. I really don't think they were doing anything especially wrong. I have had so much worse in the back of my car than a couple girls kissing. I have had. I mean, I had a girl performing fellatio on a guy, and I didn't kick him out. Probably partly because I just didn't know what to do about that at that point. You just don't know sometimes. But yeah. They put these things in the contract for a reason. They don't want it to get out of hand. So, yeah, that was just an interesting situation, and not that I want to encourage that because I don't think what I think happened was wrong. But again, I believe that business owners of any kind deserve to choose who they do and do not want to do business with for whatever reason. So, again, I think I stated earlier in a slightly different situation, I support the Christian baker to not serve the gay couple, and I also support the Virginia restaurant owner to kick out Sarah Huckabee. If you're a business owner, you can choose to do business with whoever you do not want to. And based on how you treat customers will determine whether or not I want to do business with you. So I guess that's my comment on the lesbians who got kicked out of the Uber vehicle. I actually thought the situation was just really fascinating, but I didn't want to make a video because people take that stuff really the wrong way all the time. And judging by the fact that I lost 8 viewers very shortly after that, after I made my comments on that, it looks like I made a good choice on that. So let's see here. Namely said, "Can I take the name Uberman?" I don't know. Let's see here. Annie Wong. "I only do deliveries now, Kevin. The rideshare is not what you want to be in because it puts a lot of wear and tear on the car." I agree. Yeah, Mike. You can tell me like, wonder, Mike, if you wanted to tread lightly. Let's see here. Oh, Miss Gina's in the house. Excellent. Let's see here. And Sleeping Elephant's going LOL. So, let's see here. Let's hear Queen Brooksy. I never trust when video recording does not start until after the said offense already took place and only things being said are being said to support the offended person's position. That's another thing. Yeah, that's and it's one of the reasons why we encourage you to have your own dash cams because whenever there's like an offense, the passenger will always look at the phone after the fact, and you don't know what led up to that. You just see the aftermath, and I know that companies have these positions. There's no justification for what happened here. Sometimes there is a justification. I can remember that guy who there was this lady who was in his car and she was driving him nuts the whole time. And she wasn't listening. He was trying to tell her, here's your destination. And she was like, no, go over there. And he went. And then they just went around the hospital over and over again. And he just started getting so upset. And he finally snapped and he was like, get out of my car! Get out of the car! I don't want you! Get out of my car! And once he started doing that, that's when she pulled out her phone. She's like, why are you being rude to me? He's like, get out of my car! I need to know where to go. Get out of my car! I don't know where I am. You're at the hospital, lady. Just please get out of my car. And, when you watch the video, it looks like there's no reason for him to, from his point of view, before she pulled the video out, she was belligerent and she was mean. But then she whips out her phone and she's real calm, like, "Why are you shouting at me, sir? I just want to know where I am." And you got to be careful. I mean, I wish people would use the common sense, like, yeah, there's usually something that happens before the camera gets recorded, but people don't think that way. Um, Sleeping Elephant said I would kick them out, and Patrick has a square with an Xbox in it. Interesting. Emma Silverhander, I have been hit on by both women and men, and sometimes multiple women. Alex said, some people just can't handle the truth. Let them leave. Yeah. Let's see here. Ali says, Rideshare is dead. Slavic needs to launch the app ASAP. I was under the impression the app had launched, but okay. Jared, oh, you're in India with no Wi-Fi. Oh, well, thank you for joining us anyway. Andy Wong said, Rideshare's dead. I'm going to create an adult channel called Bang My Uber Driver. Good luck getting through the YouTube censors with that. Excuse me. Enrique says, are you live for real or is this a recording? Well, I'm live right now. At some point it will be a recording, but right now I am live. Jason Condit says, that is the most classic Rideshare crazy video ever. Well, it's one of them. And that was like, you would think a video like that would really help people have sympathy for drivers, but it really doesn't. People just look like, oh, that guy needs to be fired. There's no reason whatsoever to treat people like yeah, there is. Apparently, lady was being a jerk. Driver 631 says, I see a lot of delivery drivers with friends, girlfriends, or whole family delivering food. So anyway, folks, we have 1 minute before we hit the hour mark. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could keep this going for another hour. So if there's any final questions that we can at least stretch this out another 15, 20 minutes, please let me know. Otherwise, we are going to wrap this up. We got to 36 viewers. I don't like giving away movies, though, unless we get to, like, 40 or so. I kind of like to give people that extra chance. Driver says, does Katie still drive? She drives Postmates sometimes, not Uber. Emma Silverhander, I like the Uber video where the rider is waving the dead dog in the driver's face. I don't think I've seen that one. Namely, I have a Pax that refuses to leave my car before. I just kept driving away from Sacramento until he finally agrees to get out. Enrique says the new Uber app stinks. It started today in San Diego. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have the new app yet? I guess not. Jason says, "What's for dinner?" I had dinner. I uh, I had a sandwich. I had a sandwich. I'm like 18 pounds away from my goal. If I can lose another 18 to 20 pounds, I can be off the diabetes medicine. So I'm still eating lightly. Sketch Jones said, "Me working in NYC. I have 4 different driver apps. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket and maximize all my learnings." Like, how do you meet Katie? She is cute, by the way. I'm gonna save that story for another time. Believe it or not. Actually, you can see that story. Search the YouTube channel Aspie on YouTube. We have our date adventures there, and the story is there somewhere. So, you're right. Yes, I'm still a diabetic, but apparently the diabetes are very much under control, and if I just lose a little bit more weight, then they'll be gone. So, we're in good shape as far as I'm concerned with that. Let's see here. Why don't you hike the PCT like Reese Witherspoon? Not that desperate. That's why. I'm not that desperate. So, all right. Well, we've hit the hour. I think that's a good place to stop. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the comments, and hopefully next week we can get back to the pre-recorded videos. Anyway, for those of you who might have been watching this after the fact, thank you for sticking through the whole thing. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, or you can send a super chat too. Anything works. Until then, flame responsibly. Have a good one.